Finally, after weeks and weeks of anticipation, reports coming out that Mikel Merino to Arsenal will be done in the coming days, and a medical is scheduled to be booked later on this week. We're also going to be talking about who will Arsenal sign as a forward. Ivan Toney's name keeps popping up and up. If you're new to the channel, please do go down, hit that subscribe button. We are less than 50 subscribers away from 20,000, which is genuinely, absolutely ridiculous. So big up to every single one of you. Make sure you drop a like. Let me know your thoughts down below. If we get 1,000 likes, that'd be absolutely glorious. Now, game week 1 in the Premier League is coming to an end. Tonight is Leicester versus Tottenham. I will be doing a watch along over on the main channel, Henry Wright TV. And a lot of the teams you thought would expect to win did win. City beat Chelsea, Villa beat West Ham, Newcastle beat Southampton, Arsenal beat Wolves, and of course, Liverpool beat Ipswich Town and United beat Fulham. Could we see a shock tonight? Potentially, if it was going to be Tottenham that would let down the big six, it would end up being us. I feel like after Arsenal's game against Wolves, because it wasn't the most high-scoring game, I think that performance genuinely went under the radar a little bit. They nullified Wolves to a certain amount of shots on target. I think it was 2 or 3. They looked good in going forward in transition, defensively sound again. David Raya looking composed as ever. The big question mark that when I was speaking to a few of my friends over the weekend, I was saying, like, talking about why players at Arsenal, what's going to be the long-term solution for that left wing position? Because I do think this is a huge, huge season for Gabriel Martinelli. It is a massive season. I look at the right-hand side, they've got arguably the best right, other than Mohamed Salah and maybe Rodrigo. You probably could say they've got the best right winger in world football right now. I look at the way that Arsenal play, because they're so reliant on wide play and wing play. What's the long-term strategy for the next 2 or 3 years? Is it going to be Martinelli? Is it Trossard? Martinelli, for me, I think, has to score a minimum of 12 league goals this season. Now, you're probably thinking that's not a lot. Last year, Martinelli overall, didn't have the best stats by any stretch of the imagination by his standards. 6 goals. The season before that, 15 league goals. Season before that, 6. Season before that, 2. Season before that, 3. So he's not the most prolific in front of goal, but he played 35 games last season. Yes, he got 10 GA, which is a good return, but it's a huge, huge season. And a player that has obviously been linked a number of times to Arsenal, he's being linked to a move away to Saudi. And there are some ITKs and some people coming out there saying Ivan Toney is perfect, absolutely perfect for Arsenal. Homegrown, Premier League proven, scored roughly 20 Premier League goals in a season before. Yes, of course, didn't have, the most prolific season last year. Missed half of that season due to the betting allegations. Florian Plettenberg has come out and said that yesterday that Man United are not considering Ivan Toney and that he is being wanted by a few teams in Saudi for around £40 million. If Arsenal can get a player of Ivan Toney's caliber for £40 million, that for me is an absolute steal. An absolute steal. Yes, he's not a Victor Gyökeres. Yes, it's not a Victor Osimhen, but the guy delivers. His record in a Brentford shirt is absolutely... It's very, very good. Of course, he wasn't in the Brentford squad yesterday. So the big question mark for me is going to be, where does he end up? If it's not at Arsenal, I don't think it will be Chelsea. Is he really going to go to Saudi? He's in the peak part of his career. He's 28 years of age. He's 29 in March. In the system that Arsenal play, the amount of chances they create, he could quite easily go and score 23, 24 league goals in an Arsenal shirt. I really believe that. Plus, it gives real competition to Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. You look at Ivan Toney's Premier League record, It's very, 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 very strong. You know, his record overall for Brentford, very good. I personally believe he would be a fantastic signing for the likes of Arsenal. Now, the big question mark is going to be who's going to be the next transfer over the line once Mikel Merino's done. That's his record in the Premier League, 47 GA in 85 games. I don't really think for 40 million pounds you're gonna find a Premier League proven player who's a goal scorer for much cheaper. If I'm being honest, do let me know your thoughts down below on that. Now, Mikel Merino, according to the Standard, his medical is set to be booked later on this week, and according to a number of sources coming out, that the deal is going to be around 30 million euros. And the Standard have put Arsenal set to seal Merino deal this week. Now, this one's dragged out a little bit, but it looks like we are slowly but surely coming to the end of. Now, as you can see, it says Mikel Merino deal this week. Real Sociedad will send Mikel Merino to Arsenal with no hard feelings. I don't know why there would be any hard feelings anyway. It's not like they're a rival, but a transfer worth around £30 million has been agreed in principle according to multiple outlets, and a medical will be booked in once the final terms of the deal are settled. Mundo Deportivo say that La Real have been unhappy with Merino's conduct throughout the protracted talks. During he has been clear that he wants to join Arsenal. I don't really think there's anything wrong with that. Merino did not feature in last night as Sociedad played Rayo Vallecano, with personal terms already agreed between the midfielder and the Gunners, and there he is. He's likely to be an Arsenal player this week. I do think overall that he's going to be a good signing for Arsenal. What's going to be very, very, very interesting is how they rotate between Merino with the likes of Rice, Jorginho, Thomas Partey. One player that has been linked with Arsenal in it, I don't know how reliable the report is, but Raheem Sterling has also been linked with a move to Arsenal. Now, this one's going to be an interesting one for me because Raheem Sterling, I think, is a fantastic Premier League player and has been a fantastic Premier League player for a number of years, right? You look at his Man City record, his Chelsea record isn't nowhere near what he was at City. At City, he got double digits for goals, I think 5 out of 7 seasons. And I think under Guardiola, he's the third highest assisted player under Guardiola. You know, he's been a top player for a number of years. I don't really agree with his coming out because he's not in the squad. Like, I don't really get what you're going to achieve from that, but look, each to their own. His record in the Premier League speaks for itself. Arteta loves versatility. He's got Champions League experience. He's what's Sterling now? He's got to be 28, 29. I think he's 30 in December. Could he potentially go to Arsenal for a couple of years? Potentially. If you look at him on the right-hand side as well, obviously Arteta loves versatility. 171 games on the right, 269 games left wing, second striker, centre forward, attacking mid, left mid, right mid. 185 goal contributions in 379 games, 27 goals in the Champions League, a good record in the FA Cup and League Cup. Adverts galore on here. But I personally think he would be a good signing for a Premier League team that's already got good quality in those areas. What I was mentioning about earlier, I don't think he's a long-term strategy by any stretch of the imagination, but he brings a winning mentality into the dressing room. This is a guy that's won 3 or 4 Premier League titles, 5 League Cups, an FA Cup, 2 Charity Shields. He's won practically silverware galore. He knows Arteta from the coaching days back at City. Does he come in and join an Arsenal side that are there or thereabouts to get over the line? I think he improves them, but that left wing position is going to be very, very, very interesting over the next 1 to 2 years. Definitely at Arsenal. It's something worth keeping an eye on. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel. Make sure you do drop a like I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. I am